Monday walk. It's a little bit later actually, it's about 4:15. We're just starting. I don't know if you can see on camera, but my eyes are streaming. There is such a cold wind. Actually icy, I would say. So again, we're sort of coming a different way now. We're cutting across to the bridle path. You can either go to it through the village or across this field. So we're crossing the field today, just because it's sort of more out of the way. And Woody really loves it. But it's been quite a busy day at work already this morning. I had quite a few Etsy parcels to do. So I've been really looking forward to getting out this afternoon, getting a bit of fresh air. Didn't actually go out at the weekend, but it was a busy weekend. I did actually get quite a lot of writing done, and I'm really pleased with how it's going at the moment. It isn't always like that. Sometimes I have weekends where I write, but I just can't sort of get into the flow. I do force myself to do it though, even if I know it's not going very well. But yeah, it did go really well at the weekend. My eyes are streaming. And then I did a few bits for work as well. I edited a few videos and sort of redid my to-do list for the week, so I know now exactly what I've got to do each day. And I really love that because it makes me feel really organised, and I get into my craft room and don't have to waste time planning because I know already what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to film a little bit each day, I suppose, throughout this week, and then sort of do a bit of a monthly recap to talk about what I have got done against the goals. And I know I talked a little bit about that in the car, in the multi-storey car park when I was waiting for Matt last week, but I'll just sort of go over it again and add in anything else that we've done. Yeah, so let's enjoy the walk.
Every year this beautiful patch of snowdrops appear at the back of the house, and every year there are more of them, and I absolutely love seeing them come up, as it signifies that spring isn't far away. It's really difficult to show on camera but it has just gone really dark outside. It's just gone 12:15 in the afternoon, and like I say, the light just went all of a sudden. And there's the rain. So I'm actually working in my craft room today. I'm going to have a whole day in here, which I love. And I actually quite like it when the weather's like this, because I just feel so sort of cosy and safe and warm. I was saying yesterday how I love it in my craft room when it's raining outside and I'm all cosy and warm indoors. But I love it just as much when it's a lovely sunny day out there that we've got today. And right in front of my work desk, I've got this window out into the back garden, and I just love to look up and see all of the wildlife roaming about out there. And we do get a lot of wildlife. I haven't ever actually seen them, only on camera, but we get badgers of a night who are actually being very naughty at the moment and digging up patches of the garden. But we get muntjac deer out here, and a muntjac has actually been born in the hedge out there as well. That was last year. We also get pheasants, we get squirrels, loads of birds. So it's a really lovely garden for wildlife. We actually back on to a woodland, so they all sort of wander in through the gap in the back, and I love it. So earlier in the week, all of our painting supplies for the living room were delivered. So we now have everything we need to get started. And prior to that, we had the furniture delivered from Wayfair, and that is currently stacked behind the door in the breakfast room. So it's all looking a little bit of a mess out there at the moment, and we can't wait to get started. So Matt has just popped into the Cash Point in Co-op, as we're heading off now to the other side of Oxford to pick up an old battered trunk that we found on Facebook Marketplace. And it's actually my idea to renovate it or refurbish it into a coffee table for the living room. So I really like the idea of having something that looks a little bit vintage in there amongst all the new furniture. Now the one we're picking up is actually a dark brown varnish. It looks like it's had varnish added, so the first thing I'll do is actually remove the straps and all of the handles and everything and the lock, and actually give it a really good sand, take it back to natural wood, and then maybe just apply some furniture wax or something like that. Obviously I'll have to have a look at the condition of it to see if it needs more than that or any repairs, but I'm just really looking forward to doing it. So here comes Matt, so let's set off.
Sunrise bleeding through the glass.
Put sheets down.
it fit?
Yeah, you can get a fridge freezer in here. Mind your head.
He was a nice bloke,
He was
wasn't
a
he?
really nice bloke, yeah, and he was moving out to Japan, wasn't he?
Mm.
Wish I was. Well, I don't. I'd like to go and visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you planning on leaving me? Moving to Japan?
He's going to move to see some nice Japanese cars.
Got the gas tank full. We're moving fast. Leaving all the ghosts in our hometown.
So we're passing by Yarnton Nurseries on our way home, so we thought we'd just stop and go and have a look around the antique centre, but we haven't got long because we need to be back for Woody the Pudding at 4, so we better hurry. Okay, so we've made it home with about 10 minutes to spare before we go and pick up Woody the Pudding, and I just wanted to show you the trunk, and I really love it. It's in a lot better condition than I thought it would be, and I really think I'm going to be able to make something of it. In the picture, the top looked a little bit damaged, as though it was sort of dented in, but actually in real life it doesn't look like that at all. I think it's been used as a coffee table in the past, as there's a bit of a cup ring there, but none of that sort of surface damage really matters, because I am going to, as I said earlier, just sand it right back to the bare wood, and then either add a clear varnish or something light, or even just wax. But actually the the corners and everything and the handles are all really nice. So I may just be able to put it all back together as it is now. But yeah, really pleased with that and looking forward to making a start on the renovation. So as it's the end of the month now, I just thought I'd do a quick rundown of what I've achieved against the goals I set myself for this year and what I've managed to get done in January. Now, I won't go into too much detail on them all, but as I was just sort of looking at my notes and the little list that I shared here in my goals for 2026 vlog, I have actually managed to get quite a bit done. So I'm feeling quite pleased with myself. So first of all, eat healthier. I've certainly been doing that, and Matt and I are absolutely loving the smoothie maker that we won, and we're actually having a smoothie for lunch every day, and I really feel that it's a great way of getting more fruit and vegetables into your diet, because we are actually having spinach and kale in most of the smoothies that we make, and you really can't taste it. It's not as overpowering as I thought it would be when Matt said that he'd actually put spinach and kale in the one that he made. And I do feel healthier, and I feel that my skin is also benefiting from that, and my hair as well. So I'd say that was a tick for that one. Work out 5 days a week. Well, I certainly haven't done it 5 days a week. starting off I did, and then the second week I had a couple of days off because my legs were just really aching, and then over the last week I've probably only done 2 days. So in February I really want to get better at that and actually making more time to work out in the morning. The next thing I've put walk ×5. I'm not sure why I put that, because I know that 5 days a week isn't practical at the moment. We've been walking certainly 3 days a week, but at the moment we can't fit any more in, really just because the weather isn't that nice, and with the, you know, having to take Woody at certain times to fit in with Jill's schedule as well. For example, we're unable to take him sort of first thing in the morning before we start work because Jill isn't up at that time. So, you know, it's quite difficult as well working it like that. But certainly as the months start to get warmer and we're able to go later in the evening, that really works. So we would be able to start doing probably 4 days a week, and then maybe taking him on a Sunday, or just going out on our own for a nice long walk on a Sunday or a Saturday. Learn to play for Elise. I've actually been doing quite well with my piano practice. I'm getting there. I've got the sort of first couple of bars down well. I know those quite well now, and I'm working on that, getting that next sort of movement done. I'll show you my progress with that actually. You can see I need to pick up speed a little bit with that next section, but I'm going to keep at that, and I'm going to keep going until I can play that all the way through at the right tempo as well. So 12 chapters of my novel, and I'm really pleased to say that I'm getting on really well with it. I've actually done probably a chapter and a half in January, and I've also been going through editing. I've changed the appearance of one of the characters, so I need to go through and edit that in, and a couple of names that I had just sort of put in brackets, find names for certain characters, and now I've decided on some names, so I need to go through and do that, and I've just sort of written where I talk about them a question mark for the name. So it's just little things like that that I need to tweak and make it as good as I possibly can as I go through. So really pleased with how that's coming along. Improve the condition of my hair. I feel that I'm making good progress with that. I've been using the K18, which I'm seeing really good benefits from. Still got a bit of dryness there, which I need to find some better products for. And thank you again for all of your comments on the video that I shared about my hair and my hair routine. Really appreciated, and it's good to hear from people that have been through it as well. Skydiving was one of them, but obviously haven't even thought about that yet, and that will probably be later in the year. Bird Photographer of the Year competition. Now, I haven't been out with the camera, and I think I did say I was going to try and go on Friday, but instead we went and picked up that coffee table trunk for the living room, so I didn't go out with the camera, but obviously I will try to do that in February. Bedroom and living room decoration, I'll plump those two together because we now have all of the decorating supplies to do the bedroom and the living room.
And also for the living room, we've made good progress. We've got the furniture, that's all standing out in the breakfast room. And we've got a plan of what we want to do with the room. So really looking forward to getting on with that. And we'll probably actually start that tomorrow on Sunday. Garden borders, again, haven't even been out in the garden yet this year, but really do need to get out there and start cutting some things back so that they will start blooming really nicely in spring. To go abroad, obviously we haven't done that yet. Visit the Bodleian Library, haven't done that yet. Clean out stuff that we no longer need. Well, we have actually started doing that, and one of the things we've actually done for the living room as well is list the brown pieces of furniture on Facebook Marketplace. Now, we did actually have somebody interested in the bookcase, and she was going to come and pick it up, but then changed her mind at the last moment. But it did mean that we got all of the books cleared out of there and sorted. So some of those books I'll be getting rid of, but I'll also be selling off some of the books in my craft room that I really don't use and I think other people would benefit from, to make room for some of the books that I just don't want to get rid of just because they are some of my favourite books. So I'll be doing a bit of jiggling around there. We did actually start sorting out the wardrobes behind me for the next thing on the list, which was sort out our old clothes that we no longer wear. And we sorted all of those cupboards behind those glass doors that you can see there, tidied it all up at the top, put some large blankets and things in those sucky bags, and did probably have half a bag full of clothes to go to the charity shop, but obviously we need to do a little bit more sorting. And find some better storage solutions, and I actually did quite a bit of that in my craft room. I bought some really nice crates from Dunelm and started sorting out my fabrics and foams and other bits and pieces in there, so I feel that I've made good progress with that as well. But obviously there's still quite a bit to do, and I really just want to end by talking about goal setting in general. And two things I've learned is it's not a good idea to play catch up. So for example, I said I wanted to have 1 day out a month. We didn't manage to do that in January. So I'm not going to carry that forward and say do 2 days out in February, because we didn't manage to do it in January. Chances are we won't be able to do 2 days in February, but I'm quite confident we will get a day out in February. So it's not always a good idea to, you know, like I say, try to catch up, and what you didn't achieve, move it over into the next month. If it's something you're saving for and you need a particular amount of money by a particular date, then maybe you can jiggle things around. So don't say what you didn't save in January, you'll save in the next month, you know, or whenever it is, but maybe just divide out that figure and slot it in over each month, and that will make it easier for you. And the other thing I would like to say is that goal setting should be fun. So don't be too hard on yourself for anything that you didn't manage to get done in the month. You know, it's fun. You set yourself these goals. There's nobody else holding you accountable. You don't want to make it like some job that you don't like. It's got to be fun, and it's got to stay fun. It's a good idea to have a look at, you know, what you've done at the end of a month, or if you've been doing that weekly or over 10 days or however you do it. It's just a really good idea to sit down, look at what you've done, what could you have done better, and make new plans for the following month. And that's what I'm going to be doing later today. But just enjoy your goal setting and treat it as a fun thing that you do rather than, like I say, a chore. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this final vlog of the month, and I'll probably see you again next week. So until then, take care.